welcome to the podcast. How good?
How good?
You may have noticed that we have a new intro.
Yes.
Thank you to Louis Simpson. We'll put his Instagram in the description.
Yeah. Get on your Louis.
So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy that. And as you can see, we have a guest on the show. My good friend Zak and our friend Zak.
How's it going? Nice to be here.
You want to introduce yourself a bit, mate?
Describe yourself a little bit.
I don't know. What do you want? What do you want to know about me is more the point.
Give us some lore.
Give us a current day stuff, and then we'll go straight into how you guys, you and Mitch met each other.
Okay. Current day stuff. Oh, what do we do for a day job? I work in advertising. That's always a fun time. It's very much work hard, party harder. Hence the whiskey on a Sunday. It's a questionable thing. But
you say it's a herbal tea, man.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's a herbal tea. Don't ignore the bottle in the front. Just that's not there. Yeah, so I work in advertising on a day-to-day basis. Play some casual golf now and then, which is always a good time. And then I love to drink, love to hang out with people, love socializing. So it's a good time.
Fantastic.
I like that.
I spend money on the town.
Oh God, don't even get me started. Saturday was a big bar tab.
Better than normal though.
Okay. Actually, way better than normal. Cheaper drinks. They must be doing deals.
Yeah, trying to get money back.
Yeah.
Inflow into the government.
Just get everyone back in town and offer them cheap drinks, and then slowly hike the price up.
It's like saving our country is getting everyone shit faced.
Yeah.
Nothing quite like a $15 Heineken.
Supporting our locals. Here's another 10.
I think this is a local, right? No.
Yeah, it's a local enough. Marlborough.
It's New Zealand.
Yeah.
Supporting local.
We had a local business come into our bar on Thursday.
Yeah.
And the boss promised they would go out after lockdown finished. And he started a company tab, Unlimited. And there were 40 people there that just abused it.
Yeah.
They put on $4,000 worth of drinks
That
on the company tab.
Oh, right.
It actually surprisingly doesn't at bars these days, but
not at 40 people.
no. But thanks for supporting local. $4,000 of drinks.
Yeah.
Probably cost them probably about $200 worth of stock.
Yeah.
Turned into $4,000. So
Yeah.
support local.
What's markup on a bottle of whiskey? 300%.
Oh, probably much higher, I'd say. Yeah.
That's crazy, eh? When you think about it. How much money bars and clubs or make just on alcohol, you know?
Yeah, what would you guys say is the most you've spent in town?
I know the most I've spent in town, and it haunts me to this day.
Oh, yeah?
$476.
Holy shit.
How good.
And that did not
How
include
good.
the casino.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I get to a
Far
point
out.
where I get drunk enough that I just end up shouting people around.
Yeah,
And then it's just random strangers at the bar. I'm like, what do you want to drink? Anything. Everything's on offer.
So
Just
what
like,
clubs
cool.
what clubs do you go to, mate?
It totally depends on who I'm with, to be fair. This weekend I ended up going to CBD town, which is unusual because it's just way younger. You kind of want to keep your hands in your pocket so you don't get charged with anything. It's quite concerning. But no, that was a good time, and it was actually quite cheap. But normally Ponsonby.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and
Still never been.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, I've never been either.
and it'll be what is it? Revelry and Long Room probably.
I do know Revelry, I think.
Yeah,
The rivalry, mate.
not.
Rivalry.
You and rivalry.
There is a rivalry.
Yeah.
Where did we go that you didn't get let in and you thought that was a great idea to try and
Mess with the bouncer.
mess with the bouncer? Was it Ponsonby Social?
You said you were too drunk.
Ponsonby
You're like,
Social Club?
Oh,
not too drunk.
that was Freeman's and Grey, I think.
Was it Freeman and Grey? I can't remember where
Or
it was.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that was
that's hilarious.
after the casino.
Like,
There
let's
are
go, Josh.
there are
let's go.
countless stories of me getting bounced from places.
You're probably the most bounced friend that I have.
Yeah, and I'm not
Or
even that drunk.
Trumping Elliot? Actually, I don't know.
I want to
many times
say,
been jumped.
we
out of
didn't really
US.
get much out of Elliot in terms of how much he got bounced in the States, but probably a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, next
I
time we'll
don't know.
find
Do they
that
bounce
out.
people in the States?
Yeah.
I mean, more often than not, they just want to keep them in there to
Yeah, that's what I would have
keep
thought.
buying, but...
Well, I got him being underage, so.
I remember when I was in Mexico and we were in the clubs, and they don't have a capacity. They just keep letting people in,
Yeah.
and you
Jeez.
get
Shoulder to
sardined,
shoulder, yeah.
sardined. And it was it second to last night, and Steve Aoki was playing in one of the mass. It was, what was it called? The City in Cancun.
Oh, okay.
And it was hundreds of people, and the only way you could get space is by jumping up and down and throwing your elbows into their heads. They soon moved because they knew to
Fucking
move.
mosh
They-
pit,
yeah,
bro.
you don't like getting elbowed in the head, so people moved, but it was packed.
Jeez.
It was horrible.
See anything crazy in Mexico while you're there?
I think
Yeah,
the craziest thing that I saw in Mexico would have to have been some random dude walking down the beach with a satchel on, walking past and going up to like every little group of people going, "Hey guys, you like some cocaine, some ecstasy, some weed?" And you're like, "Oh, nah, I'm good."
Not from you, mate.
Not from you. No, not from you. Yeah, the one thing we said to the taxi driver when we first got in, and he was driving us to the hotel, and he just said, "Don't buy drugs off random people on the beach. They're all owned by the cartel, so you don't want to get involved with that."
Damn.
Don't fuck with the
And
cartel.
Then, yeah, basically. And then
Rule number one.
We just said, "What happens if we get in trouble with the police?" He just said, "Give them 500 peso, which is about $60 or whatever it was
Right.
back then, and they'll leave you alone."
Damn.
as long as you haven't done something really bad.
Yeah.
That was a
Jeez.
fun. That was a fun.
That's so
time.
cheap to get off.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Maybe
Cancun's
for them
run
it's
by
not.
money. It's all driven by money.
So
Damn.
50 pesos.
No, 500
Five-
peso,
500.
which is about.
How much is that for them though? Like is
That's
that a lot?
massive for them.
That's for them.
Mm.
Okay.
So you go into a club and you pay for table service, and it comes with a bottle of spirits. So there was we saw Rehab too, which was a good time.
Oh, nice.
When he was playing, we got a table and you get a bottle of vodka with it, and that was 500 peso. So to be able to get table service where they keep coming up to you and asking you what do you want and basically giving you whatever you want for $50, it's pretty cheap.
That's pretty nice.
In
yeah.
Cancun as well.
In Cancun.
That's
So,
like a
yeah.
good spot.
Yeah.
It's a lot,
Alright.
but that whole place is driven by money. They don't get paid anything. They live on tips.
Wow.
Same
Kinda like
story
the
as the
US.
States, and
Yeah, but if you ever get the chance to go for spring, it was in spring break, so it was even better. It was a good time.
Everyone's there getting the cocaine.
Yeah, I did end up missing my flight on the way back to the States because we partied too hard the night before.
nice.
That was a nice $400 mistake.
Yeah, my parents went to Tulum.
Tulum's really nice.
Yeah,
It's the somewhat classier part of Mexico.
yeah. And there was a weird thing that happened. So, my parents were staying in this hotel, and obviously it was boiling in Tulum, and so they left like the window like slightly open right next to, but it's on like say like a bedside table or something.
Yeah.
And my mom's phone was there, and then she like dreamt that someone stole her phone or something like that. She had like this weird dream about someone like reaching in from like the window and grabbing her or something, and she woke up in the morning and her phone was gone.
Not surprised.
But we had like the Find My iPhone like app on our
Yeah.
like family iCloud, and so my dad called me and he's like, "Oh, mom's phone's been stolen. Can you like track it somehow?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll use the app." I checked the app, and every like 5 minutes you get like a buzz of like where it is, and it's just darting around all these shops in like the center.
Yeah.
So someone just trying to sell my mom's phone before the police get to them. And so they called the police and said like, "Oh, we're reporting like a stolen phone.
Yeah.
It's like $1,000. We need it back." And the cops come up and they're like, "Oh, come with us. We'll try and track it down." And they're holding like sitting in the back. My dad's got like a AK like pushed against him. They're all like carrying guns and stuff. It's like holy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't go through the border. Oh, it's
Oh,
not a
it's
fun time.
dangerous. Have you guys seen Sicario?
I've watched
Yes.
part of it.
Yes.
I've not watched the whole thing.
They're the one with is it Emily Blunt or something? Or the other one, the Aussie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
See the Aussie girl or the British one?
No, she's a British one.
Amelia Clark.
No,
Emily
Emily
Blunt.
Blunt.
Ah.
It's got Josh
Emily
Brolin
Blunt.
in it as well.
Yeah.
But like, there's a crazy ass scene at the border where like everyone's just like silent 1 second, and then all of a sudden these dudes just jump out of a car and start shooting people down.
Is
like
that
just
how the border
unexpected.
works?
Yeah.
No, but that's how dangerous it is there. Right? That's why they
Yeah.
carry those AKs around.
Oh,
That's
not the
crazy,
border
man.
patrol. The
Just people in
Just
cars.
People in cars, yeah.
Yeah, they just come
Right.
out and just start shooting at people.
Well, even when I went through the border from Canada to the States, that was the most. It's worse than going through the airport.
I was
It's
the same, man.
absolutely insane. There's just the dudes
Yeah.
walking around with little mirrors checking under the cars for bombs. There's guys walking up and down with dogs. That's before
hell.
you even get to
Yeah.
the thing.
When I went from Montreal to when I was going to Boston, we were in like a big bus, like the whole exchange group, and you get told to get off so they can search the bus and everything, and they were just so fucking strict, man. It was ridiculous. Like they were going at people for like not following rules and all this
Yeah.
sort of shit. It was crazy, man. And I actually got like a bit of a free pass because when I went up and showed my passport, the guy's like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, so you like the All Blacks? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I went to an All Blacks game, one of the best experiences of my life,
Yeah.
watching the haka. And he's just like, cool, go stand over there and
Yeah.
then you'll get your fingerprints and all that and you're sweet.
We were so the same when we went through. My mate who was living in Canada at the time didn't have his ESTA to get through into the States. I did, because I was like, if there's any chance of going through, I better just have it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he didn't, which is fair. Like, he's living in Canada. He's not going
They
to the
do it
States very
there,
often.
don't they?
Yeah, they do it then and
Yeah.
there, but they basically pull us aside. They say, go up, drive around, park in. We waited for about half an hour through the lines and stuff. People were getting reamed. This elderly couple was just, they hadn't declared something, and they just, basically their whole car was getting searched. The works, they're in tears, they're distraught as we walk up, show our New Zealand passports, and they're just like, oh yeah, how are you guys? What are you up to? And we go, oh yeah, just going down for a gig for the night, and then we're coming back. And they go, oh, what gig? We tell them, and they go, yeah, cool, have a good time. Here's your documents for the ESTA, no problems, fingerprints, done, dusted, and
Yeah.
we're gone.
Jesus.
It was like, it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
So
some elderly elderly nationals.
Yeah, it basically
absolutely nailed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exactly what it was like.
Where's the money? Where's the money, Mason? The numbers, Mason.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
man.
was a good time.
It's good being a Kiwi, bro, overseas.
We have it pretty easy, yeah.
Does
We do.
Everyone loves you.
We almost get a free pass, which is kind of nice.
Talk, man. Just talk.
just talk.
Hello?
They're like,
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
bro.
G'day, mate.
I'm lucky. In Europe, apparently, they ask Kiwis to do the haka all the time.
Oh,
Because
God.
they just love it. You didn't?
I didn't, man.
Oh, who was it? Was some of our karate buddies? When they went to places like
Probably like Tomorrowland, like Brenda and stuff.
yeah, those guys. And where was it? Morocco. When they went to Morocco.
Oh, yeah.
They got harassed quite a bit
Yep.
just because they're Kiwis.
That's
just,
like was that a junior worlds or senior? Do you remember?
it would have been junior at the
Junior.
time.
Yeah.
We would have been way too young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
especially
don't
if
know
they're
what
going
it
to the
was.
junior worlds.
Fuck.
Jeepers.
Well, there you go. As it shows, me and Zak met each other through karate.
Yeah.
We graded
12 years of our life.
graded pretty much every belt together except for black belt,
Yeah.
wasn't it? No.
Yeah. Oh, and a couple of
Maybe
at
the earlier
start.
ones. Maybe the earlier ones. But it was
Right
pretty
at
much
start.
like, what? Blue?
Yeah, probably.
Blue all the way up
Yeah.
to black?
Which is about what, 6-7 years worth?
Yeah, roughly.
Mm.
I can't remember. It goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
That was definitely an experience.
Best
Yeah.
memory?
Best memory?
Oh,
I reckon Oceania Sydney was pretty good.
yeah.
And even Wellington, I think the same year, when you came down with my mum and we stayed in the hotel.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good trip too.
Yeah, both actually that year in general I think was probably the best. The
I'd say
fittest
Oceania.
and most ripped I've ever been. It was. I'm now carrying the advertising beer belly, but it's,
Yeah.
The
back
muscle
then,
memory's still there.
The muscle memory's there. I probably can't kick bottles off people's heads anymore as a party trick. I might pull a groin, but I'd probably agree. I think
Yeah, I'd say that.
getting a medal at Oceania is a
Yeah.
pretty big achievement. Other than that, I don't know. There's something sadistically fun about getting the shit kicked out of you for 7 hours at a grading.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's
pretty
also
fun.
mentally taxing. I think the good part about it is no matter what you do in your life, I've never had anything that's been harder than that.
Yep.
There's not been a
Mentally-
challenge mentally or
mentally-wise.
physically
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
been anywhere near.
Yeah. I'd say the
that.
same thing with my sailing.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a different
Tennis.
style.
Yeah.
What's the difference between, like, how hard is it to get a black belt compared to all the previous ones? Like, is a black belt this, like, mysterious, like, really?
Well, the most
And-
obvious is there's more shit you need to know
Yeah.
Yeah.
for one, but I don't know.
I
I think
think
it's more like what they expect,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's more at that stage. So I mean, I'm gonna preface it now, and it's one of the things that my biggest bugbears. There's a whole heap of people that will go, "Yeah, I got my black belt." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. How long have you been training?" "Oh, 3 years."
Fucking
Like,
shit.
great. What have you learnt in 3
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
which
there's
is
no way.
hilarious because there's like when you go to the nationals and you go to other competitions, you've got like little 6-year-olds running around that are black belts, and you're just
Yeah.
going, "What do you know?"
It's
What-
crazy.
Yeah.
Like how?
If this
But-
10-year-old
yeah.
stood there and fucking started beating you up, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's up to
So-
the sensei to, like, give out the belts.
Yeah, it is. And there's also, I guess, a bit of reputation. I mean, there's probably the top 3 clubs in the country from a national standard point of view that are all part of Karate New Zealand that when you're a black belt, you're a black belt. There's a whole bunch of other clubs that
You earned
it's
it,
not
or
even
just-
worth the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, the biggest thing, it is a little bit not a mystery. You know what's coming, but I think for me, it's the mental challenge and the physical challenge over anything else. You know everything, and you can do everything fine. It's just to be able to start at 1:00 in the afternoon and finish at 1 a.m.
Jesus.
And you have what?
In the last 4 hours, you're getting the fucking shit kicked out of you.
Yeah. You have
Wow.
3, maybe 4 drink breaks, which you can have which you can have.
I think
a
they've been
bite to eat
doing.
with.
I think I had a little bit more, but you couldn't eat. It was like a quick sip. Come back in,
Right.
get like an energy gel,
Yeah.
and you come back in.
Jesus.
It's not much.
So there's no way the 6-year-old went through that,
No.
right?
Not a legitimate
No.
one.
Not a legitimate one at all.
It's crazy.
Like the whole point of the fighting at the end is essentially not to prove that you can fight back or beat someone up. It's more that
Mental toughness.
you can continue to keep fighting and don't just cower or back off and shit like that. You know, you can still fight back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You don't give up.
When it finished, shows how much of an alcoholic I am. I finished and then ended up having a beer, which went straight to my head and I was drunk as straight away because you've got nothing in your body at all.
Yeah.
But when I finished, I cried. It was just the biggest tax mentally.
Jeez.
I
Yeah, I don't think I've
vomited.
done anything that tough.
Yeah, I vomited too.
I went straight outside, just chunnied.
Yeah,
My dad comes over, he's like, "Oh, you done?"
yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." I was like talking to Dwayne, and I was just like, "I need to go outside. I don't feel well." And he's like, "Okay."
yeah.
So
And that's,
did-
I guess the good part, they don't stop you. You know your body. So if you're gonna go, I'm gonna vomit. They're like, okay, get outside.
Yeah.
Vomit, come back in.
Yeah,
we'll
keep
go
going.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the thing is if you do that and you miss a fight,
They
you got one more than everyone
Yeah.
else.
they keep
They
track of
keep
how much
track.
you miss.
Wow.
They're
I
not-
remember when Barney was going for his brown and black. So Barney, I think I may have shown you guys videos of him fighting before.
Yeah, I remember you showing me. Yeah.
But he was, I think, reasonably new to the club, right? Like a year in maybe. But he was a black belt at his previous club, so he kind of jumped belts because he's good enough too.
Yeah.
And he said something about like how many fights have I got left with the last like
I
40
remember
minutes.
that. Oh, how
And
many left?
our sensei's just like, "What did you say?" He's like, "How many fights have I got left, or how long have I got left?" And he's like, "You got however bloody long I tell you got left."
Oh, that
And he's like, "Stand there and fight." And then like he's just like standing there, bro. And then I'm pretty sure Sensei stood there. It's like, "All right, you're fighting me now," or some
Yeah.
shit. I was like,
Oh,
"Jesus."
Damn,
man.
bro.
And the thing is we're fighting constantly. They rotate in and out.
Yeah. So
So
the
they're getting to rest and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. I only ever did one grading where I wasn't grading and I was fighting.
that was my one.
Yeah, that's right.
That was my black belt.
Yeah, and it was that was fun.
That was a fucking hard grading.
So
That
can
was a
you go
good time.
down if you perform badly in a grading? Can you go down belts?
No, you just don't get
You
graded.
just don't get graded
Yeah.
up.
You have to reset it.
Right.
I mean,
They're normally a little bit more lenient on the reset
I don't.
because they test you on the shit that you did wrong previously. Normally,
Yeah,
Right.
And if they're iffy about something, they'll probably test you then and there.
yeah, they'll make you do it by yourself.
Yeah.
If you've done so, for instance,
Who did that?
it was one of, I'm pretty sure it was one of my
Yeah.
gradings. Like someone was, I think it might have been Shirley. She was going really like lackluster. Like you
Yeah,
could see she was
that's
conserving her
right.
energy or something. And they noticed. And I got moved to the back when we were doing all our kata, and I was fucking stoked because I was right
Yeah.
in the middle, up the front the whole time. So I'm like fully focused, not looking around, not blinking.
Yeah,
No
you can relax
movement.
a little bit.
And I went straight to the back, and I was behind a bunch of people, and I knew that they were saying like, "Oh yeah, he's been like so focused." So, and we want to look at other people, and I just felt like this wave of just relief, like thank fuck.
So
I
what
don't
are they?
I don't have to be as fucking drilled in,
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to like when you say like you have to know the things and
Yeah.
So when you're saying like when you're at the front and they're testing you on things, what kind of things do they like put you through?
Oh, now correct me if I'm wrong, because this has been a while now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, as part of the grading, you go through all of the basics. You then do kata, which are set forms, and then you fight basically.
Right.
Basics
And
are blocks,
basics are blocks, strikes, punches, kicks.
and then you got takedown, self defense,
Oh yeah, that's right. So then you do
hand grabs, neck chokes,
all of it.
So you kind of just it's
Throws.
throws, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you got Junzuki as well, where you just go up
God,
and do like
yeah.
basic things. You do
So-
like other
yeah.
free sparring.
basically,
drills.
there's 5 hours of basics,
yeah.
which is just non-stop,
yeah.
and then you fight for another
Yeah.
2-3 hours.
It depends how lenient they're gonna be, honestly, because for my brown belt grading, it was hard but reasonably chill,
Yeah.
and then my brown and black was ruthless because you remember this? Like they told me that they were paying me back for something because One of the
Yes.
boys complained. Oh, what? No, one of the guys complained that I was trying to scare one of the boys, like that was coming up to grade like in a couple years, which is total bullshit. He asked me what happens at grading, and I told him what
Yeah.
happens at grading, and then
There's no sugarcoating
someone
what happens at a
overheard
grading.
it and went to my sensei and told him, this is what Mitch has been saying. So like, they beat the shit out of me to like teach me a lesson and be like, don't scare. I was like, I didn't say anything, but I was like, that's bullshit, man. I didn't do
The
anything.
truth is scary.
Oh, the
Yeah.
truth is scary.
Because they came and told me afterwards that like we did this because of
Yeah.
this, and I was like, okay, whatever.
I remember pulling my hamstring. This is for my black and white stripe.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
pulled my hamstring about
A week.
what was that? A week and a half beforehand.
Yeah,
like
it was at Saturday
bad.
class.
Bad tear. Like I threw a kick doing something and I felt it and just went ping, and I went, oh no way.
For sure, we were training for grading too.
Yeah, we were, and I had to do it, so I was straight into the physio, trying to get it fixed. So like, this is like at minimum 3 weeks to get it sussed out to be at a point that you should be doing this. And I was like, I got a week and a half, and they said, oh, good luck.
dude.
They were lenient enough with me,
Yeah.
but I remember, and so the kicks and stuff like that, they allowed me to be kicking lower and not, head
And
height and all that
throwing
sort of
when you
stuff.
get thrown
And
and
throwing was slightly different. When it got to the fighting, the funniest thing, we're about halfway through the
I
fighting,
remember this.
and we're in the fight, and my sensei goes, what was your bad leg? And I looked down and pointed at my leg, and he just hooked me straight in the face, and he just said, don't trust anyone. And I was like, what?
my God.
I was like, no way.
I got so many good grading fighting stories, man. I
Yeah.
remember Brendan. It was near the end of, I don't know, maybe the last sort of 10, 15 fight sort of thing. I'm running on the last dreads
Yeah,
of
you've
energy
got
on my
nothing
legs. My
left.
legs are like jelly, but I'm just like stuff
Yeah.
I haven't got long left. And I remember we were fighting and I was moving. I was actually fighting pretty well in the fight. And then I kind of like faked one way, went the other way, and I must have been so slow because I was
Yeah.
so fucked. He just spun and just backhand whipped me across
Yeah.
my head. I swear to God, I was knocked out for 5 seconds standing up, right? I just,
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue what happened. I was standing there just like, oh shit, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I've been spun kicked back into a wall.
Braden re-broke my nose.
Yep.
He fucking kneed me.
Yeah.
You remember, that was my black belt. He just like came down, grabbed my neck, cracked me right in the nose.
Jesus.
My blood just was pouring. I still fought, and he's like, go, block it up. So I just got tissues, stabbed them up, and then just came back out.
Yeah, the fun thing is cleaning the blood up afterwards.
I got head kicked into a pole.
Your white gear is not white
Yeah.
by the end of it.
No, it's not white.
The thing with karate is you're not
Brutal.
supposed to actually. I mean, obviously you're not
No.
supposed
No.
to put the other person. in
Traditionally,
pain,
we,
no.
but-
we make this sound really, really bad.
It's only for
this
grading.
is one thing.
It's very
One-
controlled.
Yeah,
It
Like,
it
you're
is.
sounds,
bleeding
it sounds like
and-
more endurance than like aggressiveness or something
Totally.
like that.
The whole premise of
You do
karate
sometimes
is
get
to no hitting, not being hit, and there's I can't remember.
You also got to be able to take getting fucking hit.
Yeah,
That's the whole
basically.
point.
It's part of it, yeah.
But the whole thing is, it's arguably the most peaceful of the martial arts in the
It
sense
is.
that
Right.
you're not encouraged to fight people.
No.
Yeah.
And we've always been told, like, if you're in town and someone's going to come at you, kick them the balls and run. There's no
Yeah.
point fighting that guy. Like,
Yeah.
they're not worth the time. You don't want to get yourself hurt.
You don't know what they got on
Yeah,
the knife.
you can help yourself and you can like look after yourself, but there's just no point
Yeah.
Would you say
Yeah.
that you knew any people who were doing karate just for like
for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's a couple. They didn't last very long.
No.
Does the sensei like catch on to that and
100%.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing, and that's the most part about karate is the people that hang around and do grade up to a black belt are generally mentally sound people.
yeah.
And then most people
You
drop
don't-
out. I was like, yeah, black belt.
Yeah, exactly. They get the shit kicked out of them
Kinda like
otherwise,
us.
and they get not taught. It's kind of well, yeah, it is kind of taught.
It's kind of taught a lesson.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there's some young boys or young girls that come up and they're real arrogant, and because when we were sort of going through the ranks, higher grades, that's sort of when competing got a lot bigger. So people that were going through grades were also some of the top competitors.
yeah,
So they were skipping grades. Well, I won't say skipping because that's not fair, but I guess
they were grading,
pushing through a lot
They
faster.
were grading quicker because they were able to.
Yeah, because they were training more, because they were competing more, and all this sort of stuff. And
Like in the lead up to Oceania, we were what 7 days a week.
yeah, something like that. At least
Every
six.
day.
At least six.
And
And
then
then you
most
pretty
of
much
those
teach
were
them a
like
little
2 or 3
lesson,
hours.
you know. Give them a couple like knees to the body or a nice like jab. Just you really connect with one of them, just to like be like stay in line sort of thing. Because some of them do like they really do get so arrogant, man. It's crazy, and they're like 13 years old. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's the same with, I find with most one-on-one sports. Same with tennis. Like I think arrogance, it does get you a long way, but the end game's kind of like
you can create.
You always see it like when it's all said and done, you're just like a dickhead.
Yeah,
like that's all you got.
I think it's just because karate isn't exactly a huge sport, so there's a lot of competition, but at the same time there's not a vast number of competition. So if you're the top 3 in your age division, it's like you're the top 3 and there's not many people that are going to beat you.
Which we both were.
Yes.
It was close to that. That's just a little brag. I can say that now.
Yeah.
And not get in trouble for it.
We're top 3 in Oceania.
Yeah, actually, true. At the time.
I know. Yeah, I don't know if anything beats winning like a medal or an award or whatever it might be at an international level, man. Even if it's a little sport like karate. It's pretty epic.
Something about representing your country, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though I basically never did that, so I wasn't that good.
But you've won sailing like junior worlds and stuff, haven't you? Not one, maybe third.
Not one. We did pretty well.
Got third, didn't
overseas. That was in a German competition.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
you make it sound like it's a nothing. It's still a competition.
It's still
a competition in Germany.
Germans are pretty good sailors, but New Zealand's just one of the best countries for sailing, which really helped. But yeah, like we'd go to Worlds and get like top 20-ish, which is like a pretty good achievement if you think about it.
It is good because not many New Zealanders do very well in like senior worlds and junior worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
We really over-index in water sports. Like in terms of
water.
anything with water, New Zealand over-indexes in.
I feel like all sports.
Kayaking, rowing, sailing, windsurfing, even water skiing. To be fair, some of the best water skiers in the world are New Zealanders, and the only people that generally will beat people out is like the guys in the UK, and they slalom skiing. You want to ski in like calm water. These guys ski in like a harbour where it's just massive fairy wakes. So it's like they're the only ones that beat you, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything with water, we do really well at.
Yeah.
Swimming, not so much. Like pool swimming.
No.
Yeah, but
no.
You guys would probably agree though, but the best part about the sport is like traveling and competing.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people sort of
like elsewhere. Right?
That's why a lot of people in karate sort of stop training,
Yeah.
or they sort of stop after they get to black belt, and they kind of lose that drive to compete. Because you're just like, what am I doing this for at the end of the day?
Did you guys feel that at the end?
I did.
100%.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about earlier because we all pretty much stopped our sports right out of high school.
I stopped mine
or like maybe
second year uni.
Right.
Because I competed first year uni. That's when I went over to Newcastle when I lost all that freaking weight.
Yeah.
But after that, I did the Sugihara Cup at the beginning of the next year.
Yeah.
So 2017. And I just was at that tournament and I just didn't really enjoy it. I didn't fight overly well. Like I lost a fight I think I should have won. And I went back to training. I was like, I don't want to compete anymore. So I was like, I'm just gonna train.
Yeah.
But I was never given the option to really solely train. It was always like forcing me to like come and ref or come and coach or do this and this and that. I'm like,
that's what made me stop was the politics of it all. It was just like when you're at a senior level, you're expected to do so much more than you are at a junior level. And even, I mean, you ended up getting called a senior just by the grade you are, even if you're what were you when you were black belt? 15?
No, I was.
Anyway,
16.
Regardless, it's just to be called a senior at that level. You're expected to train 3-4 days a week. You're expected to ref. You're expected to compete. There was almost too much expectation, and you weren't allowed to just back off.
Invest yourself into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, when I graded to black belt, it was 2013. Yeah, 2013, and it was first year of uni. Massive adjustment. Like school, uni's completely different, and I'm sure you can all agree.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I wanted to back off a little bit. I had other things. I was drinking a lot more. Sorry, you'll find out. You'll find out that I'm very much an alcoholic.
We found the reason.
Yeah. That too. So showing up to training hungover was awful. Anyway, but besides the point, is like your life sort of changes a bit, and it was a big thing. And I started to train a little bit through, and then
Jobs as well.
Then jobs happened, and I started full-time work, and I just went, no, I cannot.
Yeah.
When I'm working in the city, you know, you're getting up early to go to work because you're in the city. You got to travel, all that stuff. To come back, by the time you get home, you've done a full work day. It's 6 o'clock at night. The training's at 6:30. You got to rush there. Then you got minimum an hour and a half of training.
Oh,
it's 7:30. You go home, have dinner. I mean, I know it's
7:30. You're more talking like 9.
by
Right?
the time you finish. 'cause
Yeah, it
it's
becomes
never
an
hour and a half.
absolute grind, doesn't it?
The thing
Like-
was, it's just it's first world problems. It sounds awful, and you know anyone who's actually committed will just deal with it. But when your life is changing and you're going through a whole bunch of stuff, it becomes a grind, and you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then you want to have a weekend, but you can't have a weekend because there's this competition you got to go to.
Yeah.
And even if you're not competing in it, but you're forced to compete
yeah.
anyway.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it also comes down to the fact that karate in New Zealand and in a lot of countries also isn't a professional sport. So
Yes.
it's
true.
like, are you,
no funding.
what are you pursuing this for, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Pursuing, is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So,
But I'm like, how are you
Pursuing.
pursuing?
No
Shoot.
no H. Pursuing.
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 Yeah, you're gonna sue.
Fuck, alright, I'm just a glass of
Now I'm saying it wrong. You're gonna sue somebody. Pursuing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Mind if I try a bit of that one?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Did you want to check if your thing's still
Sort of
recording?
like.
Still going.
So it's sort of like, are you going to continue doing this because you are just super passionate about it?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna get money unless you get sponsored, and
Yeah.
it's fucking hard to get sponsored because you can't put anything on your gi. So they have to be so.
What is a gi?
The uniform that you wear.
Oh, okay.
So they have to be very like lenient, your
Yeah.
sponsors. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, as long as you wear like our shoes or our t-shirt or some shit.
Yeah, you can't have it on your gi unless you're at the World Championships, which
Yeah.
there's a spot that you're allowed,
Oh, is
and
it?
you can't
Okay.
have too much. I think that is now.
Like, it
It
might
wasn't
be
back
now, yeah.
back then. But yeah, I
Also, can I quickly say something?
Yeah,
for you? Also, with Barney, he was training like fucking ridiculous. He was going overseas to train. He spent the last like 2 years living overseas training. And I put in the perspective of, if I am not going to train the way he's training to compete,
yeah.
I'm not going to beat him. And if I can't beat him, I'm not going to win. And for me, it's like, if I'm going to compete, I'm not going to do it to lose. Like, I'm way too competitive to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm not willing to put in the hours of training that, you know, the top level people are doing, I'm just not going to win.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see the connection.
So Barney was in my age division, so I fought him heaps, and God, it was insane. I'm gonna plead the fifth on what I was gonna say because that would get me in some trouble. I'm not gonna say it. So I'll go back. I'll go back to Barney. I remember we were at. I can't remember the competition. I just beat some dude 7-0 in like 45 seconds, which for me is impressive. I don't do that often. It just showed the quality of him fighting.
The quality of you fighting at that time.
Yeah, I am the quality of me fighting, I guess, too. But, like, I then had Barney, and this was in the final, and he beat me 7-0 in less than 30 seconds.
Holy shit.
Like, the level of his capability was absolutely insane.
And he struggles to medal at world tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think it's his mentality as well, though.
Yeah,
he always gets himself way too, like,
Worked
psyched
up.
up. Yeah, worked up. But he's on another fucking level, dude.
yeah.
He is just...
Good old Barney.
He can, like, would be, like, from me to you away, and he'll just fly a kick up in your head by, like, within a second.
You wouldn't
bro.
even see it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
And
is
then
that
if you
the
see it
scoring?
coming this side, he'll change midway and just come around the other side of your
So
head.
with the scoring, is like the 7 is like that? Is that how many hits you connect, or
You have to beat someone, like, to finish it off, you have to be leading by 7.
Yeah.
So you could be 10-3
Gotcha.
and finish it off. But
Okay.
it's by 7. And I don't know if that's changed.
I think it's 8.
Is it
I
8
think it's 8 now, yeah.
And there's obviously a time or
Yeah.
a limit.
3
for
minutes. For seniors, it's 3 minutes and 2 minutes for juniors.
Okay.
And then it's an additional minute for...
Nope, they don't have that anymore.
They don't
It's
have it
straight to
anymore.
decision.
Is it?
Yeah, straight
Oh,
to
God, shows how long away I've been away from the sport.
judges' decision. There's no extra time anymore.
That's right, because I remember this is the word. This is how bad it is. I hadn't gone or competed or been involved in the sport for probably 2 years, and I just knew that a competition was on that weekend, and I rocked up, And then next thing I know, I've been put in a referee uniform and I'm reffing.
Was this Sugihara?
Yeah.
This is the tournament I said to you I didn't enjoy, and it made me stop.
And I'm reffing that I don't even, like, I know the basic rules enough that I can do it, but there's so many, like, tiny little changes. And they basically just said to me, they went, look, if someone else goes for a penalty, just follow the penalty, because they'll know. And I'm like,
That's kind of bullshit.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I'm getting my flags mixed up. The whole what is this
'Cause
like?
there's like a certain thing, like if it's this person,
Yeah.
you go that one first and then that one, or
There's
it's fucking crazy.
There's a
man.
referee like qualification for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not. I never got
Certain
qualified, but I was,
criteria you need to look out
I was
for.
reffing it like a pretty a somewhat senior level for matches I should not have refereed for.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic though in terms of learning how the scoring system works. Essentially, a punch to torso, like sort of like waist height, to head anywhere on the body is 1 point. Kick to the body is 2 points, and a kick to the head is 3, and a takedown and score from a takedown is 3 points as well.
Yep.
But you have to be, I think it's within 1 second of scoring on the ground. Once the person hits the ground, you have to score within like 1 sec. But they're fucking lenient on that shit.
Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you guys, because you both sort of stopped karate after you competed.
Yeah.
If you were to continue, what would you want it to look like?
Well, that's actually a really good question. I think as a sport, it's in a really good place, and to be included into the now not 2020 Olympics.
Right.
Fucking coronavirus. We'll go back to that in a second because I've got a great conspiracy, which you can fight me on, but I believe it. Much like the Twin Towers, Bush was behind it. Anyway, no, the sport's in a really, really good place. I think they have changed the sport to be a lot more
World friendly.
No, not world friendly, but
Easier to
viewer friendly.
Viewer
Okay.
Just make
yeah.
it easier to understand and to easier to know. It's definitely not like Taekwondo where you spend 3 minutes just bouncing up and down and do nothing, because that's legitimately the worst.
Oh, you know they stopped that because you got passivity shit.
They put in rules like passivity where if you're doing nothing, you
for
get
10
penalised
seconds.
for it.
Okay.
So you have to commit.
Oh,
So there's things like that they've made the sport way more appropriate for games like the Olympics and actually for viewing.
For viewers, right?
Makes it quicker.
The thing for me that I think needs to change is I understand there being a drive from clubs to have people compete and have people do that, and you can push people into it. But I think when people go, I'm done, I don't want to do that, or they go, I only want to train. It's for my
It's my passion.
you know, it's my passion. I like doing it. I don't want to compete. It's for fitness. It's for all of that. Just let them do it.
Yeah.
Don't push someone into something
Because
they
it's a
don't want to
shame.
do.
It's a
because
shame. Like,
There's a reason why
Yeah.
there was 7. I think
That's
for
fucking
our
huge,
club,
bro.
I think there was around 7 black belts at any given time. Like there wasn't that many,
yeah.
and it never got higher. I was there for 12 years, and I think we got up to 10, and people just kept leaving because
Every
it just
time they got
became
black belt.
too.
Competitive.
I think it's
right?
also to do
Yeah.
with competing was so large as well that when you were training, you were doing competing shit at training, and when you didn't want to compete, it was like I don't mind doing like fighting, sparring at training because I enjoyed the fighting aspect. But when I was just doing kata, I didn't enjoy that because I never enjoyed kata really much. After I think it was one of the tournaments, but I was so sick of doing competing training because I was like, I don't want to do this. I'd rather do traditional karate martial art, like takedowns, self-defense, close grabs, hand grabs, chokes, all that sort of stuff that's traditional sort of karate.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that, but I just never, that was never offered or was never available. So to me, I was like, I just can't be fuck training
And
anymore.
to be fair, I think the only other thing that I would say is more international competition.
Like, we're so far away from people.
We compete all the time, but it was never with foreigners.
You just realize, man,
And
when
you
see
just
some of those
realize
guys-
how bad you are in comparison to foreigners.
Yeah.
And seriously,
They're
the only
so
way you
fucking
get
good.
better is to keep fighting the people you don't normally fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those
So-
foreigners are so fucking good, man. Like
Yeah.
New Caledonia, they got so fucking good so quickly.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. I remember fighting them in the senior male team fight and when I was
Yeah.
in New Cal.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They had like 5 fucking good fighters. Like they beat us in this team fights. But it was just insane like how good they got. Just so sort of, I wouldn't say out of the blue because they were always, the sort of dark horse, but they just got really good, like out of kind of nowhere. I was like, wow. And I think it was also because we lost a lot of, like senior males as well.
Yeah, we did at the same time.
The team fight would have been me, Angelo, Carl, who were all
Oh,
like
really?
fucking in our 20s and 19, 20, and then we had Shane and Brendan who were like the seasoned vets.
Funny yarn about Angelo actually. Met someone through social media, which is hilarious. Now we're really good mates, and they go to the same church.
Oh really?
Yeah. I was looking through mutual friends, and I went, "How the hell do you know them?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, church. Okay, cool." But no, okay, back to my conspiracy, because I'm keen to talk about this. Not that I've done much research, but the conspiracy is that Bill Gates is responsible for coronavirus.
Oh, is this the 5G thing?
No, it's not. Nothing to do with 5G.
Okay,
nothing to do with 5G. That shit's ridiculous.
Okay,
Like,
good.
I'm all about conspiracies, but a fucking tower giving you cancer? Nah.
Cancer or COVID?
Oh, and COVID. It gives you everything, apparently. everything's to blame for 5G. But no, and the way I heard this is there was a guy at work, he posted on his Facebook page, and it was some Argentinian MP in whatever their parliament is, blaming Bill Gates for COVID. And I went, this is ridiculous. This is
fucking bizarre.
This is bizarre. And I started watching it, open mind as always, because Twin Towers is based on Bush. He did it. Although the Republicans still think Obama. He wasn't there. Where was he?
Do they think Obama did it?
No. They don't think Obama did it.
Should have done something.
Where was Obama? He should have done something. Not realizing that wasn't his presidency, but that just shows the ineptitude
idiocy
of Republicans. But anyway,
Unbelievable.
Anyway, so no, that she was saying that Bill Gates started COVID. I was like, nah, no way. The more I listened, the more I went, actually, this is starting to sound somewhat likely. Like, who else other than Bill Gates would benefit from starting COVID? A couple of years ago, he did a TED talk about a global pandemic. And
we aren't ready for a global pandemic.
We aren't ready for a global pandemic. Trying to get a bit of traction. He's saying it's coming. It is happening. Get ready for it. And he's like, there's no.
This is a great title for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But no, there was. He said it so convincingly, basically saying there's no country in the world that's ready for a global pandemic. And he was referencing SARS and all of the other bits and pieces and saying everyone has failed so far with these ones that have come out. And next thing you know, COVID's happening. Who's the person that's donated the most to COVID? Bill Gates, $250 million. Basically, what they're saying is the only person that's actually benefiting from this virus is Bill Gates.
But he's donating, isn't he?
He's donating, but it's not going anywhere. And at the end of the day, he's going to be earning more money because if he donates, he gets a bit of money out of here and there.
What's he donating into?
Yeah,
he's donating into research and funding.
Look it
and all
up,
that
Jamie.
Sort of stuff.
I'm on the case.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I haven't done the research enough to go, okay, why is he benefiting and all this sort of stuff. But I kind of go, if there is one dude to benefit from this, why not Bill Gates?
Sorry, quick question. Is Bill Gates Microsoft or Apple?
Yes.
I get the two mixed up. I always get
Microsoft.
Microsoft, right? Okay. I get those two mixed up all the time.
He's Microsoft.
Okay.
No, I just think the guy has already made his billions. I think
he's just having a fun time now, just polluting the planet with a virus.
At the same time, Bill Gates is one of the more philanthropic billionaires, like with a real focus
no one would
on.
think he's responsible,
but with a focus on.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't actually believe he's done it, but I'm kind of like, there's some basis to this. Yeah, there's some basis to this. 9/11 is not a conspiracy. I'm putting that out there. I keep going back to it. It's fact, but this is definitely a conspiracy.
Well, you could look at it from a Thanos point of view. You could view Bill Gates.
Well, how is Thanos involved in this?
You could
Natural selection.
You could view Bill Gates as someone as a super genius with a long view on humanity, who's like, a global pandemic will cut the population and bring out the worst of people so that we can identify them and cut them out. You're seeing Bolsonaro in Brazil absolutely fuck up the response.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You're seeing Trump fuck it up.
I mentioned in a previous podcast that I thought the virus was created intentionally to save like environmental issues, because the population is essentially the biggest issue to environmental.
Well, you saw what happened when we were on lockdown. All the pollutant shit stopped, and
it's insane.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't disagree if it was true, sort of thing. I'll be like, fuck yeah, I know that. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking into it a little bit more, and someone that I know posted a thing about a global, what they're calling a global reset. So there's people, not even small people. It's pretty impressive. Like, what is it? Prince Charles
the International Monetary Fund and a few other big dogs in the in that sort of sector are calling for a global reset for everything. They're basically saying the entire globe now is going to be in so much debt, and everyone's going to owe everyone everything, that we need to basically go, okay, no one has any more debt, wrap everything up,
So fuck
clear
all
the
loans.
balance sheet. And
That's
start
actually,
again.
I do like that idea.
I
but
like the idea as well, because
Yeah.
it can somewhat set a footing to reduce poverty, kind of.
But also fucks countries that were shit before they had shit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know? Like, they were already, not in a recession, but they were already kind of, you know, their value of dollar was so fucked compared to... Now it's so...
Haiti.
Yeah.
That would be
There's no
it.
value.
You know, countries like that, where there's literally nothing there.
Yeah.
Syria,
Yeah.
Yemen, all those places that are legitimately fucked.
Yemen. So I've heard so much shit about Yemen lately.
It's just like, there needs to be a time, and they're basically saying there's no better time than now.
Yeah.
But the logistics, we can't even sort out our own economy, let alone resetting the entire globe's economy.
Yeah.
The thing with some of the debt, though, is it's held by private individuals who they buy bonds, right? So all the people that own bonds will immediately lose all the bonds.
No, I know it fucks a lot of people.
But those are the same people who are already billionaires. They already have so much power. If it comes down to it, they're going to lobby hard against it.
Yeah.
I'm
At
sure.
least at least our debt's coming from the crown, which is fine. It's all UK debt.
Well, we're
Indebted to the UK forever.
We're going
Right.
to end up paying banks to put our money into the saving account, bro. Interest rates are going to be negative, bro. We're going to end up paying the bank.
If I was Cindy, I'd be hitting up old mate Boris, getting him to speak to the Queen and saying, hey, you know that $500 billion that we've borrowed from you now, or whatever it is, I don't know, our debt. Can you wipe that, please? Because you brought COVID back to our fucking country.
True, actually.
Well,
I mean, there's
at
a
the-
little
but
bit
at
of
the same
leverage.
time, we let them in
Yeah.
and didn't have the correct
We
precautions.
don't need to say that. We don't need to say that.
that part, you know.
Yeah, that's a bit hazy.
That was just our government being too lax, bro, and just being too nice.
Okay, thoughts? Would you not pee on the side of the road on a road trip down to Wellington, or would you pull off somewhere and go to the toilet?
I'll peel on the side of the road.
Normal road trip.
Well, a normal road trip, you'd probably stop off and get a snack, get some food. Dude, there's no way they drove down to Wellington without stopping.
Impossible.
Bullshit. Absolutely no
That's
way.
exactly my point.
No
they can,
way.
They can totally make it on a tank
I've done
of
that
gas.
drive fucking way too many times to know.
They can 100% make it on a tank of gas. My Mitzi made it on a tank of gas. It did nearly 800 Ks on that tank. It was impressive. I was on fumes on the way back.
But you need to
Stop
off.
You need to stop. There's no way.
You stretch your legs. You
It's
need to get
what?
some food.
Minimum a 7-hour trip.
Yeah, I thought it was 8. I think every time I've done it was
Close
about
to
8.
Yeah.
Close to the
I think
8, yeah.
most
Have
times it's been about
you
8.
ever driven that far without, or just not even driven? Have you ever just not peed for 7 hours? No.
Especially
I
when you're
can
in a car. and you
confidently
probably
say
are.
I have not.
Yeah, there's no way. That's total bullshit that they said that they were in contact with no one. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Everyone in
Well-
this country knows that they did not drive 8
Well, yeah.
hours continuously.
And didn't they say
The
they
lady-
actually owned up to it? Like
Yeah,
after they
yeah.
said that they didn't see anyone, they said, "Oh, we actually
Yeah, we
stopped
saw a
and
few people, and now that the
got
list,
directions, right?
their contact list is 350 people. That's
Went from
that's
0
their
to 300.
Well, no, that's their contact tracing. So you
Fuck.
got
Yeah.
to think, if you were to contact trace me over this weekend, it would be in thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time that I go, right, so if you took it from Friday 5 p.m., let's even say Sunday. So Friday through Saturday, Sunday morning, I was at work all day. So let's not include work. That makes it even harder. caught up with friends.
Yeah.
There was 5 of us.
Yeah.
Those 5 people, then all in contact with each other.
Yep.
Them plus my family, so that's another 4.
Plus
So that's
everyone else they've
9.
been in
That's
contact
9
with.
already.
Yeah.
And then we went into town. We went to 3 bars.
How many tables? How many fucking
So
chairs? Did you touch?
those bars, there's probably at least in that capacity 3 bars. You could confidently say 600 people
The bouncer grabbing
across
your
3
ID.
bars, 200 in each. So, I mean, even halve it because you're not in contact with everybody. Halve it, that's 300, and then those 300 with another 300. It's like it exponentially grows so fast. So to only have 350 people is actually kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a small number when
Yeah.
you actually think about
Yeah.
it.
The thing is they only took the contacts that they were in. They didn't take contacts of people that were their contacts, if that makes sense.
They will have.
Yeah.
They just won't be publishing the numbers. But
So those people, they were granted an exception, right? To
Yeah.
Which is
not stay in
crazy.
quarantine. Yeah.
That's
They
crazy,
were
man.
in quarantine, and
They
then
were
they
in
were like,
quarantine.
one of our like family members
Yeah.
is like dying, and then they were like,
yeah.
go on.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah.
for, being with your family at their last moments, but during a time where we're trying to, everyone has just come out of like a month or longer quarantine period, right? So everyone's suffering. It's like, that's just unlucky, It's you just got to deal with it because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You get like an exception to go and see someone that you love because it's like we're dealing with this. We're trying to keep our country safe. So I just thought it was kind of bullshit, man.
And if there is another outbreak, it's like there's gonna be hundreds more families.
Yeah, totally.
And we
they're gonna
can't.
be-
There's no way that the country will go back into lockdown.
We can't shut it down.
Yeah,
Although
you reckon
Melbourne
if there's an
If we
outbreak?
do, I don't know if I will stay
So
in
Melbourne gone
lockdown.
back into
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, Victoria, the state of Victoria, have gone
Okay.
back, not into lockdown, but they've gone back up a level into more
Right.
restrictions because they've had an extra 25 cases in a
I'll
day.
see how many cases there were today if there were
I think there's
any.
only been
Yeah.
2.
There's been, I don't know if there's 2 today. There was 2
There was 2 yesterday.
And that was people that have repatriated from India, I think it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're in, what's it called?
They're in the
Let's
quarantine
see.
place.
Well, what I was saying to my parents was
400.
all these
Wait, what?
all these people that are coming into New Zealand, right? They should be tested in their country. Let's say there's 2 English people. They should have been
Must
uh,
tested.
be for overseas, though.
2.
Another 2.
One is a child under the age of 2.
Oh, that would have been the child of the 2 people that came in.
Right.
They said
Right.
that the
Well,
child
anyway.
hadn't been tested.
They should be tested in their country. Then they should have to be in isolation waiting for their test results. So this is all before they get on the plane.
Yeah.
You
It's
should
a 2-week
only be
isolation
allowed.
prior, and then a
Yeah.
come through, and then a 2-week isolation
Yes.
after.
You should
totally.
You should only be allowed on the plane if you test negative. If you test positive, you still keep the precautions, the masks, the gloves, all that sort of shit. Once you get off, you get tested again in New Zealand. You then take a 2-week period to get your test results back from that period. But you wait a couple of days after the plane ride, and you make sure you keep a trace of who was on that plane, who they came in contact with in case. But if you test positive before you get on the plane, you shouldn't be allowed on the plane. You shouldn't be allowed to go traveling overseas. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Hey, if there is one winner from COVID, I'm not gonna lie, is the advertising agency that did their shit.
Yeah.
It's impressive, and the PR around it. There was a report done by I can't remember who, and I was looking at it on LinkedIn, and New Zealand ranked in the top 5 best PR and advertising responses for basically, or what is it? It's nationwide coverage in the sense of everyone knowing what the hell was going on. It was, you could tell me right now, what is the COVID signage? You could tell me.
Like that yellow and black.
Yeah. Oh, that thing. Oh,
That pisses me
I
off,
should
though.
play it. A mate of mine did a trap remix of it. Shout out
Stay
to
in your
Maskin.
bubble.
He's a great time.
trap remix
He did
of
a
that.
trap remix. It got onto George and everything. So
That's sick.
Maskin, if you want to have a look, I think it's MASCEE or MASCEN. Maskin. It's a good time.
There you go.
But yeah, no, they were the winners out of all of this. It's very, very
It
impressive.
frightened me at first when I think it was like during the first week of the lockdown.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, man, we have to stay inside for 4 weeks. You just think I'm gonna be home, and then you hear I think it's this is a COVID-19 update,
no.
and you think holy shit,
We're about to get nuked.
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Like,
a
I'm
national
living in this right
broadcast.
now. It's kind of like
yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like
shocking.
a World War II alarm that there's bombers coming over here. And you're like, what? Get in the bunker! Get in the bunker!
But legit, it's the modern day equivalent.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's killing people.
Oh, I know. It is what it is. But no.
Did
It's
you
very cool.
Did you want to give us some insight into the marketing and advertising industry?
God, yeah, I can.
Because
I can.
I think I might give you something to go on, because when I go on Instagram, right, you have your news
this
feed.
is fun.
I think I've talked to you about this.
You
before.
have. It's
I
a
have.
really contentious
But
issue.
I'd like to talk about it again, and I don't think you guys have had this conversation with Zach, but you know how you go on your news feed and you follow those people and you see whatever they post, right? Because you obviously like their content or whatever it might be, and then you go over to the explore page, and you pretty much see the same shit, but it's all related to what you follow.
Yeah.
For me, that really pisses me off, because I want to go there to get away from my newsfeed. I want to go there to see different things that I don't already see.
You're not really exploring, are you?
No. I'm just seeing the same shit that I
Yeah.
follow, but it's
Walking the same
other
trail.
sources. And obviously you
They
know
are.
a lot more about
I'm
that.
just going to put it out there. They are starting to change it because there is a lot more backlash for it. But basically, and it's with anything from Netflix through to Instagram to Facebook. I mean, Facebook's always listening. Hashtag. I'm just. That's not an actual fact, by the way. I don't actually know that. I just believe it 100% because I'll tell
Bill
you.
Gates and now Facebook.
I know. I'll tell you why in a second. But
Zuckerberg wants to know your location.
Yeah, no. but it is a bit of that, and the thing is today with both marketing and advertising, you can hyper target people in terms of knowing exactly where they are to the basically latitude, longitude. You know exactly where they are, and we unwittingly know and allow these apps to know that. As soon as, when you download an app and it says, we want to know your location and we want to know this and access to your contacts and all that sort of stuff, it piles in the data so fast. One of our head of technology dudes, he basically did a trip in Europe for 4 weeks and he enabled Google to know everything. So he did it on purpose because he wanted to see how much Google would actually follow him. So much so that I think they do it either quarterly or half yearly. They do a report for you and say, you've traveled to X amount of countries, you've gone to here, here, and here. And when he started looking into it, it followed him from store to store and told him what stores he went to, where and when, and what trips he did, how long he was in the car for, the whole works.
That fucking terrifies me.
Which, it terrifies you, but it is the reality of what it is today, and you can't really get away from it. The only thing is,
It's this.
it's these things, and at
You
the end of
can
the day,
still get brick funds.
at the end of the day, you can love it or you hate it, you just got to accept it. The thing is marketers pay an exorbitant amount, and I'm not saying it's cheap. It is fucking expensive to get the data from these people to be able to target them.
Right.
So like, if you're getting targeted by somebody and it's known by location and all that sort of stuff, just know they've paid a lot of money to know that. So they are putting up a cost to try and get you as somebody.
Yeah.
But you can know basically everything. It's really scary. Some of the conversations that I've been in on how you can target people and how you can attribute. One of the things that we wanted to do, and it's not a first, so I can probably talk about it, and I won't say who, but when the Rugby World Cup was on, we attempted to basically...
The latest World Cup?
Latest World Cup. We basically went, we need to know the people who are getting on planes, when they arrive, and where they're going.
Okay.
So a lot of people, when they hit up roaming, they'll look at who they're going to go to, and they pick a phone brand or a network brand, and then you can basically get the network's data of who they're going to, which allows you to then get their location, because when they hit the country, that location kicks off and they know they're in the country. So when you've gone overseas or whatever, and you basically get a text saying, do you want to roam or whatever. That gives them the data, and then what you want to know is where they're going. And what that does is it allows you to know what country they're from. So you can basically hyper target them with country specific advertising to go, okay, you've flown in from Ireland, so we're going to hit you up with advertising for any Irish All Black game. So there's things like that, and it's location based targeting, foot traffic that works. It's insane the amount of like ins and outs of it all. I mean, being in advertising, you get way less of it because you're creating the content rather than the media. So if you're a media person, you know even more than what I would in the basics of what I know.
You wouldn't get all this if you didn't have your like data on though, right?
The thing is if you turn off all of your location stuff, your phone almost ceases to exist. A lot of apps won't allow you to download the app without knowing that. Because it's a revenue stream for them. So they know that they can sell their data to people.
Because when I was in Europe, I didn't have much because I didn't have any data. I only had Wi-Fi.
Exactly. It's slightly different. If you get a roaming pack, it's slightly different.
Because when I walk into places like with the warehouse, right, or the clothing store or JB Hi-Fi, whatever it is, I sometimes get like notifications like, do you want to rate this store or some shit like this?
And that's the store going, anyone that walks into our location or premises that goes on Google is accepting of Google, we want to know so that we can try and get better ratings and all that sort of stuff, which is fine. The reason I think Facebook is listening, and it's only because of one recent experience, I kind of go, they're too big to not, let's be honest. But the recent example is we're talking about lockdown, and we go, what was it we said? Oh, yeah, we're talking about all the losers of lockdown. Like, there's so many businesses that are going to be going out of business, the whole works. And the media loves to catch on to that because they like to make doom and gloom and get clickbait headlines and all of that. But we started talking about, who are the winners out of lockdown?
and there was this meat company. Can't remember their name.
All fucking supermarkets, bro.
Yeah, but we're talking about this meat company who could no longer trade because they're shut down.
Yeah.
And then there's a company, the Hyperdrive.
Yep.
The car company. Don't know if you've heard of them.
I think
Hyperdrive.
yeah.
Anyway, the guy that owns the meat company knows the guy at Hyperdrive, and Hyperdrive go, well, we've got a whole distribution network that technically is allowed to trade during lockdown, but we don't have the product to trade.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, well, I've got meat to sell, and they created a company called Hypermeat. And I don't know if it came up for you guys, and it might now. If you got your phones on you, it might come up. But Hypermeat, no, which it'll be classic if it does.
They want to know my location.
and please let me know if it does. But so Hypermeat, we're talking about it, going, yeah, this is brilliant. Like you can basically get my food bag, but with just a pack of meat. It was great.
Right.
See, it's great.
Jeez.
Not 15 minutes later am I hopping on Facebook, scrolling through, and I get served an ad for Hypermeat. I've never heard of this business. I've never searched for it. The whole works.
It's probably like listening for like meat or like food.
So it
or
listens
something.
for key terms,
Yeah.
and that's what you bid on. So with Google, there's Google search, which at its basicest form is you bid on terms so that when you type in Mazda, for example, if it's the highest bidder, you come on top.
Yeah.
And it's also ranked on a whole bunch of other things. And it's with anything. So Burger Fuel does an amazing job because when you type in Hell Pizza, it comes up with Burger Fuel as the top response. So they outbid their competitors in a different category to be on top.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Businesses sink millions, or billions globally, but millions and millions into search just so that when key terms get searched, you come up as the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll know because Google has to say it's an ad.
Yeah.
Hey,
So if,
the How Good podcast shows up first, and we don't pay shit.
no, but and in saying that, it's a good thing because no one else is actually bidding against the term or anything like that.
They should be.
Just
They-
thought I'd throw
should
that
be.
at people.
Yeah, I mean they should be.
Bit against us. Try
when
it.
I search for something, I'll now subconsciously look for the ad symbol and then just go.
Don't click on it.
to the I'll just go to
Yeah.
the first one that's not an ad.
Bro, because it
Feeds
freaks me
you
out when I
algorithm.
watch like a Netflix or a Lightbox or some TV show, right?
God, I reset Netflix all
And
the time.
then I go on YouTube, and they're not connected, but for some reason I always start getting clips of the fucking TV
What do you
show.
mean it's not connected?
Is Netflix connected to the YouTube?
Of course it is. Because Netflix puts bidding terms on YouTube.
Oh fuck! See, that's why I watch like Netflix or I
Yeah.
watch a
They're
TV
all
show,
like.
They're
and
all
then
connected.
my YouTube just starts getting flooded with like clips from that show. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Dude,
like,
it's-
it happens when my parents do it as well. I'm
It's
like,
a
whoa.
network of lies.
There's just 100
Network
different
of lies.
medians of things, which.
It's insane.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I will say one thing though. I turned off personalized ads about 6 months ago,
Yep.
and since then, like I know it's great. I'm not
Eyes are open.
like connected into that whole like.
Hallelujah.
I'm not now like connected in this web of like hyper consumption and stuff, but I'm getting the same fucking ad every time. It's Do have you guys heard of Arknights?
Arknights.
Yes.
Is it a game?
So
It's this Weibo fucking bullshit mobile game.
I guarantee you, if I go into this
It'll
game
be there
right
now.
now, so I'll shout it out because I just was talking about it before. But Bud Farm, it's a good time. you can collect extra cash for if you watch a video, and it's
Yeah.
all these ads, which is cool. I don't mind sitting there for 30 seconds, not really
Yeah.
paying attention, then clicking the X button. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, it's the same fucking ad. And oh my god, it is! It's the mining game. I don't
mining
want to
game.
play this game because I'm already playing Bud Farm. It's the same thing, just with mining. I don't give a fuck. Legit. But the thing is they spend so much money going, I'm going to have every fucking ad that this guy clicks on, he's going to get the same ad. And they
Yeah.
do this with everyone.
Yeah,
So
I'm just getting
not-
hammered by the
I get
same
it.
3 fucking ads. And the Arknights one is this weeb shit.
Yeah.
And it's these Twitch streamers like fanboying over like these cartoon, like scantily clad
Yeah.
Japanese drawings. And you have to watch the whole thing because now YouTube can make you watch a 30-minute
Yeah.
ad. And that's just like...
they can, sort of. They can't do that, but yeah, 15
Okay.
seconds is the
Okay,
max.
yeah,
You can skip
15
it,
seconds.
but you can pay way more to have it as a 60
Bro,
second.
I've had to
but
sit
no one
through
ever
a
does
30-second ad.
Yeah.
There was no skip button.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
But they're
really?
paying a fuck ton to do
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
want you to be there.
I
But
don't
so
pay
now
attention.
there's not... So now I'm just getting general ads for what they think people want.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed, all it is, it's mostly mobile games.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's mobile games that aren't new. They're mobile games that rely on old tropes and
Yeah.
just try to make it seem like it's this exciting game.
Totally.
They're all fucking Game of Thrones themed, or they're all
Yeah.
anime. And I watched this one called I don't know, it's like this fighting game where you gotta push your troops in certain directions. Some like shitty game that probably took like 2 days to make. But they get a guy reviewing it on Twitch, and he's like, you can tell it's all these buzzwords. My troops have the low ground, and I need to get them to the high ground. So I'm gonna equip my archers and shoot up the hill with my longbows.
I know the ones you're
and it's
talking
like
about.
Hashtag ad.
it's like hashtag like, and you just know there's some kid like archers, longbows. I want to get this game.
Oh my god. That's
But
so
it's-
bad.
it's
Probably
then at
Clash
the
of
end of the
Clans,
day-
bro, Clash or like
Possibly.
Boom Beach or some shit.
I read
it's-
into that kind of stuff
Yeah.
a bit because I remember, I think it was a Twitch streamer had one of their clips stolen and put it on top of like one of those videos.
Right.
It's like, oh, this guy's using it.
rude.
And I
Wow.
think there was like a lawsuit, which obviously won.
Yeah, you didn't get paid for it.
But fuck, even if it's like a small game, they might not see it, and the fans
Yeah.
might not see it, but it sells.
Yeah.
And like you said, like a lot of those games are just like garbage,
Absolute
2-day games.
garbage.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, huh, how would this person get out of the situation? They're stuck in jail. It's like you click on the wall and like
Oh,
a key
those
falls out of
ones.
the wall, and then
Yeah.
you click on the door and then he comes out, and then it shows. I find that more advertising games nowadays, especially mobile games, is they show the ad as like the user fucking it up.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
oh, could
Yeah.
you do this? It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
took me 300 million tries to get it right.
Is it the one that you pull like the little
God, I hate
the
those
pull
ads.
the
Yeah.
fucking little
Yeah.
what do you like the key thing and then
Yeah.
it drops the lava or drops the fucking.
But you play the
fire
game
or-
and it's not actually like
I was
that.
gonna say,
No.
what was I gonna
'Cause
say?
it's not
I've
like that.
I was
downloaded
like
them,
watching
it's
one of those
awful.
ads. And I was like, this is fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Or like he was saying, you got some dipshit playing it who's like clearly doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes you want to go.
I know. I
could
know
do
the
I can do
exact
that.
I can
game
do
you're
this
talking
better.
about. I know the exact game you're talking about.
Okay, I've got a question for you guys. Best ad, and I'd say a decade. Not that we were going to remember decades worth of ads, but even best ad over the last couple of years.
I can say that.
You're your most like the favorite ad.
Or just any ad in
I've
general?
got any ad. Well, I'm talking probably TV advertising
Okay,
because
okay.
like there's a whole bunch of other advertising, but best TV ad in the last.
I'm not gonna lie, it's
5
pretty
years.
hard because I don't pay attention to a lot of adverts. I actually quite enjoy the pack and save one though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are
it's
good
I actually
ones.
think the pack and
Yeah.
save is not bad. Like I think that kind of
There
does
you go.
sell you on the low prices, and they do actually have pretty low
I'll
prices.
just put it out there. That's not my agency, but that's fine. It's all good. I'll forgive you for that.
I don't
one.
even know what your agency.
I'll talk about the pack and save ad in a bit, but
I'm tossing up between two. It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
one's a really recent one.
Yeah, go
and
on.
then the second, the KFC ads, I think it was summer last year.
yep.
There was like the ones where the guy has his bucket and then he's going up to like one of the lifeguards.
Oh, the one at Murray.
He's
Is
like,
that Murray's
Marine
Bay?
Bay.
yeah,
Murray
yeah.
Bay.
Thanks,
Yeah, Murray
thanks
Bay.
for saving my life. And he
And-
gives it to like
really?
the lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was another one where I think it was like a couple going to see the parents for the first time,
Oh,
and they use like the bucket as the icebreaker because
Oh, I know
the guy accidentally kisses the mum on the lips or
Yeah.
something
No.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
that is
I like
good.
those
Yeah.
ones. And then
Alright.
Yeah.
the other one I was thinking of was like last week. It went like viral. It was the one of the porn stars going to the kid's house.
Okay, we'll go to that in a second.
That was
I
a-
love.
That was
Is this
a
one where
really
they're
good
like?
one.
Is this one when they're like butt naked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
The
love
big jacked
that
up
ad.
dude.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Brilliant ad.
Okay, we'll go. Okay, so I got a couple of yarns here. So we got
Yeah.
pack and save and the porn ad.
A recent one. Do you guys know the Ecosa mattress?
Yes.
Do you see the ads for that? With the lady walking through the house, like
Okay.
I don't know.
Really?
Closer.
Of
Wait.
all ads, you're gonna go with the
I can't.
Ecosa
Wait, which one?
mattress.
That's one that's
Eco
recent.
mattress.
Ecosa mattress.
Ecosa mattress. Okay. All right.
The one I
Otherwise-
do, the one I hate is the ASB one with like it's like the big like Polynesian
Oh, yeah, I know
dude
what
and the
you're
little
talking
white
about.
girl,
Yeah,
and they're trying to
okay.
sell the insulation in the flooring or some
Yep.
shit, and they're like talking about getting a loan to get the flooring. For the first, it's like a minute advert, and for the first 45 seconds, I'm like, what the fuck
Okay.
is going on?
So I've got two ads over the last 5 years that still to this day, if I watch the full version, make me cry, which is saying something for an
Tough.
Lotto.
Lotto.
Yeah, I knew that.
Pop's Gift, which is the one with the dad and the pirate ship,
Oh yeah.
New Lotto.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a good one.
and then Spates. So the Spates, what do they call it? Was it Last Dance? I think it's called Last Dance.
Was it in
I
Canada?
can't remember. What, so
Was
I
that
mean,
a
it's
Spates
somewhat
ad?
biased because I was there.
Was
at
that
the
a
time
whole
and I was
Spates
working
ad?
for them. But in saying that, still I can't. There's not many other ads that actually make me cry. and it was the Last Dance one, and it was the guy who was getting married, and he was sort of a bit out there, and he was getting his workmates to teach him how to dance.
That one's really good.
If you watch the full version, which they don't play very often because playing a 60-second ad on TV is mega expensive.
Yep.
And a lot of brands can't afford it, which is why you often see 30 seconds and 15 seconds. But when you watch the full version, it is every little detail, including the tiny little jokes and the tiny little bits and pieces. And it's just like my favorite line. I got to remember how he says it.
Bridges on now.
Oh, yeah, no. It's when they do the dip and they go, and they ask, dip? No dip? And he goes, yeah, that moves. And the guy's sitting there and he's just like, yeah, that move's particularly bizarre. I love it. I love it. It's just like, it breaks up the whole tension, and then it's like right at the end when the guy's about to drink his spates, and he's just sees his mate dancing with his wife, and he's just like, I told him that. I was just like, it breaks my heart every time.
Yeah. Is it what's the word I'm looking for? But that you would love a Spates ad, and the whole time you've been talking about how much you love alcohol.
Yeah, it goes back to my alcoholism, but still, we're going to ignore that, all right? But
wait,
no,
so what don't you like about Pack and Save?
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I've got a yarn about it. That platform has nearly been going for 10 years.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you really realise that Stickman is nearly a decade old.
It's not that I like,
and it's an industry.
I kind of thrown it on the on the fucking chopping board. I couldn't think of any other adverts.
But the fact that it comes straight to mind, and the fact that you can keep a platform going for that long is really saying something.
I just think it's simple.
Can you have a brand platform that survives? It's like they call it an enduring brand platform, which there's not a lot of. Without people like changing it up and things like that. So to have the same ad running over and over and over and over again, and it not get old, like you can't say that
it's Pack and Save,
but you're
right?
not sick of that ad.
No, I'm not.
You're not sick of the ad, right?
Yeah. That's because it's a supermarket. It changes every week as well. You know? Like they change it or maybe not every week, but
totally. But you got to think over the last 10 years, how many times has other supermarkets like Countdown New World changed their platform? Yeah, so many times.
And I hate the Countdown ads.
I don't even know what is the
so bad. It's like that guitar riff, and it's all about they just show the products.
But anyway, it's funny because it's Paul Ego, and I had a flatmate who used to work for the agency who did it, and he did a couple of the ads, and they said, like the creatives love working on it because if they come up with a really quirky idea, more often than not, the client just buys it and runs with it because it's like, was it Meat Week and all of those random things?
Weeks,
it's just like
Meat Week at Pack and Save.
Meat Week at Pack and
Save. Come in and get low deals.
yeah, good old Paul Ego.
But I really hate the adverts surrounding like moisturizers and all that shit.
Saturated.
They're
Bro,
it's just like all those like L'Oreal.
It's
just like you're looking at them, L'Oreal, whatever. But it's like you're looking at them and you just, it's so fucking bullshit.
More often than not,
it's like wow.
More often than not, the shitty ads have come from overseas.
Yeah.
And the brands have to take them because it's part of that agreement. New Zealand advertising. I mean, I'm going to throw a per capita, but it's like the per capita of New Zealand advertising versus the globe, we over-index so high on the awards section.
Really?
We have such a free market in terms of advertising. We don't have to do the classic American, like, buy this moisturizer for 2 for $5. That's right, 2 for $5. It's going to make your skin look fantastic. And here's some guy running over a fence, and oh my God, it's amazing. We don't have to do that. And when I went to the States, that's all of their ads.
Yeah. And also
Those infomercials. And you'll get this.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. Get this. Get 3 steps for this amazing ladder. For
you book now.
For no extra price. But wait, there's more. Get the handy. Get the handy Renovator Pro with every 6-step ladder with 3 extra steps. But wait, there's more. Here's this random cake over in the corner that sat there for 3 months. We'll give that to you for free. It's like we don't do that here, which is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
We get the infomercials, but
that's an option. That's an option.
It's optional infomercials. The States is horrible for it. So we get credited for some really creative advertising, and our clients across New Zealand, although there are some shitty ones, and can be notoriously bad. We put out some amazing work as a country.
Yeah.
And there's not. I say not often. If you look at it and you see some of the international advertising, Super Bowl, for example, half of it's shit, half of it's
cars.
amazing.
Car advert, bro.
I was going to say car adverts. What are your thoughts on car adverts?
Well, I work on a car client.
Yeah. So
it's great. I don't mind it, and it totally depends on the car class.
Yeah.
It really does. Super Bowl 2017, I think it was. I think it was Chevrolet did a great ad. They had an M&M
Yeah.
in Detroit, where the plant is basically trying to revive. Or was it 2017? Was it earlier?
I don't know. I don't even know who 2017.
No, it must have been 2017 because I wasn't advertising at the time, and they released the ad, and it was basically trying to revive the Chevrolet plant that was going to be shut down.
Right.
That's a good one.
Major spike.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
for
and
sure.
so for Super Bowl, and this is obviously public knowledge, you can look at it. You basically pay $1 million for a 30-second spot.
Yeah.
Right.
So you think $1 million for a 30-second spot, and then more often than not, you're $1 million to create an ad. And for a Super Bowl ad, you're looking at $1 million, if not more. That particular spot was 2.5 minutes. So roughly like 6 million US for the spot.
Jesus Christ.
They can just spend that $6 million on rebuilding the fucking plant.
Eminem's fee, whatever
Yeah.
that may have been, probably
To be in a Super Bowl ad.
probably a couple of $100,000.
Yeah.
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 And then to create the ad.
Jesus
So like,
Christ.
there's a lot of places like Tide, which is a Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
All that sort of shit. So
Yeah.
like Tide Pods, they did a thing where they basically shat on everyone else at the Super Bowl. It was hilarious. They created a whole bunch of 15-second spots throughout the whole
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
that was genius.
That's
It
the
was
one with the
genius.
guy from
and they're like, but wait, it's
Boss
a Tide
as
ad.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy from Stranger Things, he's that guy. Hopper.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he was the face. He was the
David,
face of
is his
it.
name David something?
David Harbour.
David Harbour, that's the one. David Harbour.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was cool. I really liked that. I rated it.
I thought the Super Bowl ads were really good this year. I like the really weird ones.
Was I at yours for the Super Bowl this year? Were we at yours?
I like the Skittles.
Who was
Skittles always
Super
do a
Bowl
good
final? I
time.
can't even remember who the final
Super
was.
Bowl was
I
was it
can't
the
remember. I watched it.
it was the
Was it the really boring one? Was it the last year?
No,
Oh, was
last
it
year was
the
really boring. This year was actually really good.
LA Rams? Were
Oh,
they
it
in
was the Mahone one.
Patrick Mahomes. They won.
Yes.
It was
It
insane.
was Kansas City
yes,
Chiefs
Kansas
versus...
City. That's right.
Was it LA?
I
feel like it was
San
LA.
Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers.
Ah.
49ers.
That's
Four up or
right.
low.
And there was
Yeah.
that super controversial call,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it. But at the same time, they still got another.
Bill Gates.
No, it's Bill Gates' fault. No, they got another touchdown on top of that. So I'm going to say it was definitely won by the.
Yeah.
It didn't make or break that game, but it was still like, oh,
What was the call
If it
again?
was
'Cause I
rugby,
remember that. I
if it
remember
was
there being a
rugby,
controversial call.
no try.
Was it when he touched the side flag or something? Right.
I can't remember, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a sideline
Yeah.
call, and I was just like, nah, there's no way.
It happens.
Oh,
So yeah, we were talking about that the previous Super Bowl where it was Patriots versus
the most boring game ever.
yeah, where it was
Eagle-
fucking
I think it was
ter-
the- was it
no,
the
it was the one before after Eagles because Eagles won the previous one and then they beat
Atlanta was the good one, and the year after.
Oh, it was
Was-
Kevin Hart's team because he absolutely lost the plot and he was
That's
drunk as a
the-
skunk trying to get involved in all
That's
the
the
interviews.
Eagles.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the Philadelphia Eagles.
It was that game.
No, that was the one that the Eagles won.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
but then
a
the-
super boring game.
No, the Eagles
no,
one,
no,
the
no,
Eagles
no,
one
no.
versus the Patriots was like
A good
really
game.
good game.
Yeah, that
Was
was a
it?
pretty good. Yeah, that was
I
really
know.
good.
Am
It
I
was-
missing a year?
The year,
Yeah, it was
the
Patriots
year-
versus.
It was like it was a low scoring game.
It was
yeah,
like it was like
really low
Yeah.
scoring.
Yeah. What year?
it was 2008, either 18 or 19.
Super Bowl.
The one that the Patriots won.
Mm.
I think it was 18.
What if they won 7?
But it was all the adverts were like every second advert was a car. 'Cause I remember coming around to your place and every second advert was
Yeah,
a car,
the
dude.
Pats
least-
beat the Rams.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
LA Rams.
At least Gronkowski knows when to retire.
I thought he was coming back.
No,
I thought he was coming back to the.
He's gonna play for the Titans
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
with
Take it. Just retire.
Brady.
with Brady.
Yeah.
Florida, right?
Brady just needs to retire.
Is it Florida?
He's
Is it
done.
Is it Tampa Bay?
Oh,
yeah,
Tampa,
Tampa
Tampa.
Bay.
Where is
He
Tampa?
needs to
Is it,
retire.
are they the Titans?
Is Tampa in
Florida.
Florida? Yeah, yeah.
Tampa Bay.
I thought it was.
He needs to retire.
Buccaneers. Sorry, Buccaneers. Not
They
the-
gonna be doing all the
There's
cocaine.
a couple of. It's like Miami. Don't they have a couple of teams?
Miami've got the
They've
Dolphins.
got Dolphins, and then I think I have a feeling they got one more. Or is that basketball?
No, there's. Well, Florida's also
LA's
Orlando.
got
Is there
basketball is two LA
Jackson,
teams.
Jackson City?
basketball has
in
two.
Florida?
There's Miami and then there's Orlando.
Shows we're a bit out of our
part of
depth
Florida.
when we're talking about American football.
American
but
sport.
that's
So I
fine.
just, it's not the same. But I just don't. I don't know all the states and all the fucking cities and shit. I just there's so much to it. I don't know where they are in this fucking. I know bits and pieces, but I only know it from basketball. Really,
Yeah.
like where cities are. But otherwise, I don't have much knowledge of that shit. But nah. Oh. Love advertisements. How far are we into the?
We're at an hour and 20.
Around
I'd
20.
say we could go for another 10 before my laptop starts overheating.
Or we could just. Do we have anything? Or we could just go straight into a song of the week.
We can
Yeah, if
wrap.
you want.
I wanted to tell you guys a little funny story that happened
Okay.
last night, just quickly.
Oh, go on.
At the
Story
bar.
of the week.
So this lady, like this really controlling lady,
Is this before or after you took your clothes off?
after.
Oh.
So I was nude.
Oh, great.
Love a birthday suit conversation.
There was this really controlling lady at she wasn't that controlling, but she was a bit of a bitch at this 21st.
Yep.
Jesus.
that we were working at upstairs, because at the Commons there's an upstairs function room.
Sure.
So there was a 21st there, and she's like controlling when all the food should come out, and she ends up messing it up, and all these pizzas come once everyone's finished and left. So there's like 6 hot pizzas in front of us at the bar, or I think like 5 pizzas in front of us at the bar, where we're serving our drinks, and we're just eyeing these pizzas all night because we make really good pizzas. And so we each like sneak a little piece, here and there, as no one's noticing. But then at the end of the night, she says, "Can you box these pizzas up so we can take them home?" Like these 5 pizzas that are just left over because she ordered too many. And so there's 3 of us at the bar. So me and this other guy, we take down 4 pizzas out of the 5 to box up. We leave the other one because there's another box up there already that the other guy is going to box up for the lady.
Yeah.
So we go downstairs and we're like, oh, let's take a bit of pizza. Let's box a bit up for ourselves. We box up about a pizza each, and then we shove 2 pizzas into another box, like 2 and a little bit into another box.
Yeah.
And we keep our part aside and we take back up 2 pizzas to the lady to put down in front of her. When we get there, we find out the other guy has also boxed up the whole pizza for himself.
Oh, no.
So we box up 5 pizzas for a lady, and we come back with 2 pizzas. And we put them down in front of her. And then she's just like slowly opening the boxes, like trying to figure out, like,
Where the fuck are my pizzas?
Counting in her head. Opens the first one. There's like 1 1/3 pizza. So she's like, okay, maybe they've just shoved them in. Opens the second box, just like stares at it for like 10 seconds, like trying to work out where a pizza is. Talks to her husband for a bit. At the end, I think she's just like, fuck it, whatever. But
So the
This
lesson
is so
here,
funny.
kids, is when you're going to dupe a lady out of a whole bunch of drugs, make sure you do it convincingly,
Convincingly.
and not take too much for yourself.
don't take too much and coordinate with everyone.
You meant drugs, right? Pizza's code word for drugs?
right.
Yeah, go. Cool.
Right.
Go. I didn't misread
You
that.
literally
Good. Go on.
took more than half of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you bought. Exactly. Like any sane person would fucking know that they've been
There's
ripped.
there's like, here's a gram of drugs, but you're only getting half of it.
Yeah.
Bro, it'd be like me giving you a box of beers, like
Yeah,
a 12 pack, and taking 7.
half.
Here's
Wow.
It's taking
Oh,
more
man.
than half. It's taking like 7 beers and be like, here's 5.
Wow.
You spent $20 on this box. Here's 5 beers.
Yeah. But that was hilarious. We were just laughing about it afterwards, like
Yeah, that's a good shout.
her
Oh,
just
man.
with 2 pizzas trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Holy shit.
Okay, so
Oh, good.
I'm hearing song of the week, but
Song
I've
of the
not
week.
been involved in this conversation. So I'm hoping
We
that...
try to pick a song throughout our week that we've listened to the most or we want to share.
Okay, so we all get a song each.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. I thought we were saying
no,
there's
no,
going to be
no.
one, and I was like,
No,
I've
no,
not had any input. This is
We
rude.
actually made a playlist on Spotify. I made a
Yeah.
playlist.
We can link that.
Link,
definitely link it in the description.
It's a
Like and subscribe.
It's a bit of a variety.
variety of music. It goes from fucking death metal to bloody 60s
Good.
country to
Good. That's exactly what it
Kinda
should be.
rap.
But, yeah, it's all of our
Um,
songs of the week. I can go first if you guys
Oh,
want.
I
got a song.
need a minute.
So
I
I've got
need a hot minute.
my song is "She's Gone" by L.A.B.
Okay.
The start of it
It's a good
is
track.
L.A.B. Are they
real-
the New Zealand guys?
Yeah.
Yes,
New
I'm
Zealand
going
guys.
to the concert with
Yeah,
you
we'll be
and
going to it.
Oh,
Goose
nice.
and a few others. I will.
They're the ones that do that song.
So the song
7 Sharp.
gives you real
yeah.
Pink Floyd vibes at the start, like real Pink Floyd vibes, and then it turns into like very like reggae from there on after the Pink
Okay.
Floyd vibe. It's quite good. It's got the what is it? What's the keyboard? What's that fucking keyboard? What's it called?
An accordion.
Accordion. That's the word.
It has
It's
an
got an
accordion?
accordion in it.
God,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
It's that keyboard with pipes in the middle.
I always
Alright.
forget the name of that instrument. I was like, I know it, but I just can't
Yours?
think of the name.
Yep, I got mine. Mine is "Wake Me" by Mandolin Orange.
Okay.
Good country song.
We like that.
Just as
Very
we're
nice.
speaking about country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a horse with no name by America.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact about that was my most played song of 2019.
God, I was at my tennis club like the day after the last podcast we did, and I remember just like sitting in the room, the main like clubhouse, just on my phone. You know, you hear things in the back of you hear music in the back of your head. You hear it slightly, but you know it, but you
Yeah.
don't know the name of the song.
Been
And I
through
was
the
like,
desert
I
on a horse with
stood
no
right
name.
next to it and was shazamming it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I've heard this before.
Yeah. He's been through a desert with a horse with no name.
Yeah.
Something like
It's a beautiful
By the Rain.
song.
It's a fantastic tune. And I don't know. There's just too many. There really is. We've been doing
Just do one that you've liked this week.
Yeah, I mean we've
you
been
know.
doing this thing at work. Funnily enough, that you asked us, criteria every day for like new tracks. It was just not new tracks, but it's like you have a criteria in a day, like songs that have an animal name in it and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And we'd all put our bits and pieces in. So I've had a whole bunch of new tracks. I would say, and only because it reminds me of when I showed you this song, and it sort of comes to mind, and it's a bit of a bop. It's a long track, and it's by a really randomly named band.
Pigeons.
Pigeons Playing Ping Pong
Yes,
is the name of the
nice.
band.
I knew as soon as you said it's a long song, and you showed me.
And it's called Horizon.
Horizon.
You know this song.
I know
I've
the
played that for
song.
you.
That's
Definitely
I like
link it
that
in the
song.
description.
It takes
We'll
you-
put all the songs.
Yeah, we link
Yeah,
all
we
the
put all
songs.
It takes bear
It's a
with
journey.
it because it definitely takes you on a journey, but it
Horizon Journey.
really gets there.
I like that. That's
I like
a good
those
song.
kind of
Funny
songs.
you
I
say
do
funny you
agree.
say Pink Floyd-esque. It's by no means in the same genre of Pink Floyd, but when you listen to songs like
Yeah.
Dogs from Pink Floyd, for example, it's
Yeah.
17 minutes. It takes you on this massive
Yeah.
journey, and you feel physically like assaulted by
But
dogs. funnily enough.
Anytime
But
you hear like
this song is
psychedelic
great.
long songs, you just
Yeah.
think Pink Floyd.
But no, this song is
Yeah, yeah.
way boppier, way more.
That's a great
funky,
tune.
and it's a good time. I think it's about 9 minutes,
Something like that.
but worth a listen.
I like it.
It's a very good song. It's a very good song. All right. Well, so that's
Conclude.
podcast
Conclude.
for this week.
All right,
Thanks for coming on,
So-
mate.
no worries.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
thank you.
We'll have you
It's been
back
a good-
again.
Yeah, it's been a good time. No, it's a good time.
It was good, eh?
Yeah.
Nothing like talking
Um,
shit for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
We'll,
It's a good time.
We'll leave the normal. Fucking let us know if you
Oh yeah.
have
Leave a
any
comment.
Leave a comment, all you
Uh,
commenters.
topics you'd like us to talk about or discuss or
Yeah.
talk shit about.
Someone will say
Now,
something
let's see if I
eventually.
can get this real
Yeah.
professional on a YouTube scale. It's if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, leave a comment in the section below, and and always remember, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
That's the one.
How good.
How
How good.
How
Keep it
good.
real, people.